Have you ever noticed how most conversations seem to happen on autopilot? People talk without thinking. They smile without meaning it. They give opinions no one asked for. For someone with a deep and analytical nature, that can feel suffocating. In this video, we'll explore why certain people, especially those with a melancholic temperament, tend to withdraw from social life. Not out of arrogance, not because they're shy, but because they feel too much and notice what others no longer see. One of the biggest challenges melancholic individuals face in social situations is the persistent sense that no one's really listening. They see no purpose in speaking just to fill the air, especially when conversations are rushed, shallow, and full of interruptions or forced laughter. For someone who values depth and silence, trying to express themselves in these environments feels more like a waste of emotional energy. That's why they often choose silence over small talk or quietly step away when they realize the other person isn't truly present, shifting their gaze, changing the subject, or just waiting for their own turn to speak. It's not arrogance, it's exhaustion. The quiet awareness that what they have to say probably won't be understood. But that exhaustion doesn't just come from being ignored. It also comes from the emptiness of what's being said. For people who think deeply and feel intensely, what's said matters just as much as how it's said. But what they often encounter are conversations built on gossip, cliches, surface-level remarks, and recycled comments. The melancholic personality isn't satisfied with words meant only to fill time or avoid silence. They crave exchanges that spark thought, reveal truth, and show who someone truly is, not just what they did last weekend. When everything feels like a scripted performance, full of empty routines and unspoken expectations, the desire to participate fades. It's like trying to dive into water that has no depth. There's simply no way to connect. And when that connection doesn't happen, the melancholic instinct is to step back, not out of disinterest, but out of self-preservation. When interactions become draining and environments feel emotionally unsafe, the melancholic person starts to retreat, not because they don't care, but because they need to protect themselves. Avoiding certain places, people, or conversations may seem cold from the outside, but inside it's a quiet act of survival. It's the body saying, "This isn't a safe place to be myself." Over time, many develop a natural distance, attending social events only when necessary, limiting exposure, and choosing one-on-one connections where real understanding can exist. Some even stop speaking up, even when they have something to say, because they already expect to be ignored, interrupted, or misread. But withdrawal doesn't mean they don't long for connection. It just means that connection has to be meaningful. And that includes not feeling invisible when they speak. Being around someone isn't the same as being present, but what many consider socializing, the melancholic perceives as distraction. Eyes that don't make contact, rushed replies, polite laughter, attention divided between screens and other thoughts, all of this quietly communicates that the person isn't truly there. And for someone who notices everything, that kind of absence, it's hard. Talking to someone who won't focus, who looks around while you speak, who cuts you off mid-sentence, it's like shouting into an empty room. Eventually, melancholics stop insisting. They grow quiet. They choose silence over a fight for attention. Because when there's no real presence in the gaze, the time, or the listening, the conversation loses its meaning. For many, following social rituals is just good manners. Saying hi every morning at the office, smiling by default, chatting about the weather, These are seen as friendly gestures. But for the melancholic mind, which craves authenticity even in small details, it can feel like acting. There's something in them that resists what's overly rehearsed, overly repeated, overly expected. Not because they're trying to be difficult, but because forced routines exhaust them more than silence ever could. Pretending to be enthusiastic in conversations that feel scripted, or maintaining relationships out of habit rather than real connection feels empty. While others may thrive in this kind of polite performance, the melancholic often feels like a stranger on stage, unsure of their role and quietly wondering if the play is even worth joining. And deep down, maybe they don't want to disappear. They just want to be seen and heard without having to perform. In truth, the melancholic doesn't fear connection, they fear false connection. They're not avoiding people. They're avoiding noise, repetition, and the fatigue of pretending. While most talk to fill the silence, they wait for words that carry meaning. And if none come, they choose stillness, because at least the silence is honest. If this video resonated with you, leave a like, share it with someone who might relate, and subscribe for more. And if you want to keep exploring your inner world, there's another video right here, 5 Traits of the Melancholic Personality. It's worth watching, especially if you've always felt a little different on the inside.